Now, I'm going to talk about the topic 3, the demand and the supply in various market structures. For the purpose, this section will code the relationship between demand and supply covered in topic 2 and the various market structures covered in topic 1. This lesson will also cover the interplay between demand and supply in those markets to determine the equilibrium price and the implication on decision matter. For outcomes, the sub-outcomes. By the end of this lesson, learners should be able to describe the demand and in various market structures, describe supply in various market structures, compare how equilibrium price and the quality is determined among different market structures. Demonstrate their skill with real-life examples. First, for demand and supply under perfect compensation. Demand curve under the perfect compensation. As we saw in previous lesson, the films in perfect competition and a price taker. They cannot demand the price. As such, the demand curve and to be the perfectly elliptic. For supply curve under perfect competition, the supply curve of the film in perfect competition market is represented by the marginal cost curve about the average available cost curve. Second, for demand and the supply curve per multiply. Note that the multiply does not have a supply curve because it sets the supply according to the demand. In other market structures, the market price is determined by the intersection of the demand curve and the supply curve. However, for the multiply, the market price is not set by the intersection of demand and the supply curves. This is because the multiply decides what the supply will be. The multiply sets the price at which is perfect and maximizes, which will then demand in supply quality. Third, demand and supply under the monopolistic competition. Because the monopolistically competition films product is differentiated from the other products, the films will focus on downward slope market demand curve. The demand curve will be considerable more elevated than the demand curve than multiply force because the multiply competition films has less control over the price that is can charge for its output. The film control over the price will depend on the degree to which its price is differentiated from the competitive film's products. The supply curve of the film is the monopolistic competition has a supply curve that is similar to that of monopoly. As such, the supply curve is the marginal cost curve above the minimum point on the average cost curve, as we will see in the lesson 6. As such, the supply curve obeys the law of supply that we learn about the second topic. Number 4. Demand and supply under downplay. One of the most common features of the downplay is the characteristic kinked demand curve. According to the kinked demand theory, each film will focus to market demand curve for its product. At high price, the film focuses the relatively equality market demand curve. On the other hand, at the low price, the film focuses the relatively inexact demand curve. For the supply in an oligopoly, on the other hand, the supply curve in the downplay remains similar to that of the other market structure. It's important to remember that the equilibrium point is that the points at which the demand and the supply curve intersect. However, this may not reflect on the point and at which the film makes it the perfect. All films will maximum perfect at a point where the marginal cost equals marginal revenue. For the review for this section, we have learned about how demand and supply interact in the four major market structures. We have also learned that while monopolies and monopolistic competition exhibit normal demand curve, perfect competition face perfectly elastic demand and dumpling force the kingdom demand curve. Finally, we have learned that there is a difference between the equilibrium point and the perfect maximum point. That's all. Thank you. Bye.